Here is the dirty secret that no one tells founders. Most teams actually slow down the CEO, which is super counterintuitive because we hire to be able to move ahead and to grow our businesses and to have more capacity and have more time. And yet here we are losing it. For me, I learned this the hard way. Revenue was up. I had a team around me. On paper, it looked like freedom, but in reality, I was more exhausted. I was more tethered to my business and my inbox and constantly cleaning up messes that I thought that I had delegated. So let me ask you this. Is your team multiplying your capacity or quietly choking it out and consuming it? My name's Liz. I work with founders and entrepreneurs, helping them build businesses that give more than they take. And I'm a homeschooling mom of soon to be 6 little kiddos. If you are building a team right now, hit subscribe because this channel is designed for you. I'm helping entrepreneurs solve these riddles that we face every single day in business. Here's what I see in founders all the time, and I've lived it myself. You think you've delegated, but you've only really passed off the tasks, not the actual ownership. And there's a huge difference because it leaves you stuck in micromanaging, right? In constantly checking and correcting and reacting and responding, and your team feels emotionally dependent on you because you haven't empowered them, and they need reassurance and handholding and your approval. And you're still spending most of your week in what I call level 1 and level 2 work, operator and manager work, which I'm going to break down in a second, instead of leading like a visionary CEO, where you actually buy back your time. And that's why you feel like the business is heavier now than when you were solo. That's why you're probably contemplating, do I burn it all down and just start over? Because you built the team, but not a self-sufficient one. So the first key to this and getting out of this, one, I just want to tell you, you're not as far off as you think. It can get better very quickly. You don't have to go, hire your way out of this. You don't have to go build crazy systems. Simple changes are going to make a profound impact on your business. The first is hiring for alignment, not just for scale. I have seen some of the most brilliant resumes wreck company culture because skills do matter, but alignment to your mission and your value and personality type, all that stuff matters a lot more. And a misaligned hire is going to double your freaking workload, okay? Instead of cutting it in half. So ask yourself, would I trust this person with my calling that I'm cultivating, with the mission at hand? And if the answer is no, don't bring them in. And if you have someone in the team already and the answer is no, it might be time to reevaluate. They might be a toxicity within your organization, especially a small business. The next step is defining clear roles and expectations. And this is where the leadership leverage pyramid comes in. This is huge. So which level are you at, right? Level 1 is operator. You are trapped in administrative junk, inbox, firefighting, responding, reacting. Level 2 is manager. You're consistently reviewing, giving approval, moving the pieces. And level 3 is visionary. And that's strategy and innovation and iteration and relationships and actual leadership. But the problem is most founders find themselves stuck at level 1 and 2, but they think because they made the hire, they're going to somehow magically get to level 3, and it doesn't work that way. And their team just doesn't know their lane. And every task you're still reviewing or you're rescuing is proof that you haven't defined those roles clearly. And it all points back to you. Isn't that the charm of being the leader? Now, the top 1% of leaders, they are spending 80% or more of their week in level 3. And that only happens when your team both knows their lane and owns their lane. So part of the way you do this is creating feedback loop. You do not need to hover. You need better systems. And that's why I'm obsessed with the decision ladder. We created this years ago. Level 1, they ask you every time. You are the bottleneck. No questions asked. Level 2 is they recommend the solution, right? Like they make a recommendation, but they still wait for your approval. It's better, but still dependent on you. Now, level 3, we start to improve. They are actually making the decisions and then informing you. They're telling you, hey, this is what we chose. Here's why. And that trust between you and them is building. But level 4 is they decide fully and you just trust them. And that's true leverage. Now, you have to work your way up to that. You have to consciously choose to work your way up to level 4, and you have to have the systems to support it. So the gut check for you right now is, where does your team live on that ladder? Where do you live on that ladder? Because you're controlling it. So drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear. I'd love to know where you're feeling stuck and how I can support you. Okay, the next piece of the puzzle is promoting an ownership culture. This is huge. It's changed everything for my business, but also the piece that I had as a leader. Delegation without ownership is just glorified babysitting, which is not what you're here to do. And that's why I use the ownership transfer checklist. Super simple. Define the outcome, clarify decision rights, coach before, not after. You want pre-mortem, not post-mortem. And agree on the checkpoints, agree on the KPIs, agree on what you're aiming at, and then just let go. And when you do this, your team takes full responsibility and you get your time back and you stop being the air traffic controller, because that's not what you're here to do. You're here to be the architect. Now, this might mean there are going to be failures, there are going to be mistakes, but when they have that ownership culture just kind of bred into them, they own it and then they solve it and they make it better next time. So here is your action step this week. Audit yourself, audit your team. Where are you and where are they on the decision ladder? Which tasks are you still micromanaging? What is still funneling through you that shouldn't? And what's one specific thing that you can shift off your plate for good using the ownership transfer checklist? Because here's the thing, your team should multiply your capacity, not drain it, not consume it. So drop a comment below. Tell me the number one lesson you learned the hard way about building a team. We all need to know that we're not alone in this. Your story might be exactly what another founder might need to hear right now. And if this hits home, don't forget to subscribe, because next week I'm breaking down something really important: how to reclaim your CEO calendar so your week reflects your calling, not just your to-do list.